Now, welcome everybody. March the 1st, 2023. My name is Keelan Johnson, and I am the market sales manager here for several states in the South. And I'm just glad to be here. And I hope you leave this within the next hour on more knowledge and more tools as to how to protect families, because I'm super big on protecting families and super big on helping people out. So hopefully you can hear me and see me now. Can you type yes in the chat box if you can hear me or see me? Okay. I want to make sure we can all get the best of this, because sometimes I do talk and just like a while ago and it's on pause. So I've been in the insurance business for 23 years now and with Security National Life since 2016. And I love protecting families, and I hope you do too. I'm very passionate about it. So you'll hear that and see that along the way. So let's get started this morning. I want to show you around a little bit, show you if you haven't seen what we've got and what I've got and where we're at. Again, I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you can see this. And I wanted to just drive you around a little bit. If you haven't been over here to these two sites, I'm going to write these down, or I'm actually going to put these in your chat box. This is the finaltraining.us. This is really a kind of a 7-step process on how to get started and how to do the basics of what we've got going on here. So I'm going to turn my stop my video for a second just to keep airtime here. But this is a 7 steps to kind of being successful, how you navigate the agent portal, how you order your supplies. I'll be doing a new one of those and replacing that since we have the loyalty app. How to sell a policy over paper and how to sell a policy like we're going to be talking about today over the web. When you're not in person, and or if you are in person, you can still do it if you're good at a computer. How to use underwriting, the prescriptions, the height and weight chart, and working your referrals and branding yourself. So again, some of these, since we've changed to the loyalty plan and the loyalty app, which you've seen, hopefully somebody else jumped in here. I'm going to mute everybody just for background noise, but good morning, Everardo. Good morning. So this right here, finaltraining.us. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in your chat box. If you want to, over here in the chat box, just copy that, save it to your computer, write it down, finaltraining.us. If you go through these 7 steps right here and you just watch these videos, you'll be pretty familiar with Security National Life and how we do things. Again, I will be updating those because of the loyalty plan and putting new videos out and new training. So write down finaltraining.us, and that's where you're going to need to go if you want just some of the basic things to watch and to learn as to how we do business here at Security National Life. And I think they'll help you out. The next one is right here is Final Expense Life. This is your toolbox. This is your Bible, so to speak. This is where you will find most everything you need, all the way from rate charts to applications to everything you will need to do business, basically. So just a quick flyby on this. When you scroll down in this first section, I'm recording this today, so I'll be adding this to my YouTube channel. But if you click again right here on Find Out More on weekly recorded trainings, this is my YouTube channel. Okay, and this is where I will be putting. I do put all the trainings and all the videos. So if you have a certain topic you want to watch, like doing a presentation, underwriting the application, the new loyalty plan, working your referrals, buying leads, and all the way back down to some older ones down in here. So be sure you catch those. Again, I am going to be recording today, and I will be adding this to the list. And last week I did a how to present the product. And so anyways, check out the YouTube channel. Write that down too. I'll copy it for you here also. So if you want to be able to go to that and catch up on a few things, you can. Okay, so you can catch up on a few videos or a few trainings, and you can click right there and highlight those and save them to your desktop. All right, so the final expense right here, life.us. I mean, this goes all the way into how to sell a policy in the person, how to sell a policy over the phone. This goes all the way into I'm going to go and mute here again. This goes all the way into tools. For example, the 4 policies that we have here at Security National Life, the loyalty, the security care plan, the MIB, and the eye care. Again, we mostly focus up in here in the loyalty plan. That's the ages 40 to 90, and that's where we're focusing today. Underwriting and rate book, that's good. The prescription guide, okay? Prescription guide is very important. This is where you're going to find all the medicines because that's how we underwrite. We underwrite based upon medicines. So this is where you're going to look. And on my computer, I don't know about yours, but it's pretty cool. So if I hit this search bar right here, I can go in here and start typing like amlodipine and amlo. And there it is, and it pulls up. So you've got amlodipine right here. You see it, and you can find it, and it tells us that, oh, that is for high blood pressure, and so it can be preferred. So you're in good shape there. So no problem there. So check out the prescription guide. This is your kind of Bible. The loyalty plan, this goes your height and weight. So you're going to want to know your height and weight. Mainly when you're doing a loyalty plan, you want to make sure that they fit in this height and weight chart, because if they don't, then then we have to write them outside of the loyalty plan over to our security care plan. So the loyalty plan height and weight chart is very, very important for that. Okay, and very important for that opportunity. So you also have how to ask for referrals. Who can we write? Illustration of coverage. This is very important. I mean, for everybody that's on the line here, I want you to look at this. For brand new people, y'all should know that we have a very strong policy. And what I mean by that is that this is actually my policy I wrote when I was 41, 7 years ago. Gosh. But anyways, so when you look at this policy and you kind of break it back down, I pay $410 a year for this policy. And so I will pay $410 a year, forever, as long as I have this policy. That's about $36, $37 a month, okay, for this plan. The cool thing about it is that as I pay, I grow cash value. So if you see that cash value line, it's growing cash value at a pretty substantial interest rate, at 4.5% interest rate for the cash accumulation in there. So at 20 years from when I wrote this, which I'll be 61 years old, I'll have cash accumulation of $6,000 in this policy. Well, I'm paying $410 a year. So in 20 years, I will have paid $8,200 and I'll have $6,000 in cash. So I pay $8,200 in and I have $6,000 in cash. That's a pretty good deal over 20 years. I can also take a loan out on my policy if I want to in 20 years, up to $6,000. And I can also quit paying my premium and just take a paid up policy. So I can take a $20,000 paid up and I can reduce it to 12, pay it off, stick it in the drawer and say, hey kids, when the day comes, you'll have $12,366 to put in there. So I want you to look at that and just kind of step back a second and know that when you're in the field and you're writing policies for people, you're giving them a great policy. This is a great whole life policy with guarantees in here, guaranteed that as long as you're making your payment, we have to pay the claim. And we pay the claims very quickly. We're one of a few companies that pays a claim within 36 hours after receiving the death certificate. So 36 to 48 hours, we pay the claims. And we know how important it is for people to get their money and not to have to sit in a refrigerator, if you know what I mean. So they need to pay the funeral home to take care of the services and stuff. So that's a very big part of what we do. And we're proud of that. And we hang our hat happily on that fact that we can pay our claims quickly. But more than that, when you get in a situation where somebody says, oh my gosh, I got to pay this forever. What if I pay more than what it's worth? I've always heard those people say that, and the objections. Well, hey, if I can pay $38 to live to 100, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And along the way, there are going to be opportunities. We don't want to teach clients to cash it in, but we also want to inform them they're getting a good product and they're getting good coverages. So that's very important, when it comes down to the end of the day, that you're giving your client a very good, solid product and policy for what they're paying for. Okay. So that's, again, right there into illustration of coverage. And then a couple of other things, how to close your digital leads, avenues of opportunity. I want to show you this real quick, though. This is pretty neat. I like this. But I want you to kind of realize something right here. Hope y'all can see that. Type yes in your chat. Type yes if you can see. Hold on. So I'm going to see yes. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear and see me? Okay, thank you. So I am live. That's good. I see a couple more people jumped on here. Jose and Luisa. That's good. You can hear and see me. But look at this right here. This is this is shocking to me. I want you to kind of just sit back and think about this for a second. 50% of the population, this is true. 50% of the population doesn't have any or enough insurance to pay for funeral services. Okay, to pay for funeral services. And that is true. Okay, for funeral services, I'm going to put this back over here. Now, 100% of the population will die someday, and Security National Life can insure 95% of the population. So if I walk into a room with 100 people in there, one out of every two, or 50%, or 50 of them don't have enough insurance, or they don't have any insurance to pay for funerals. That's pretty shocking. So you're saying that I have a 50% chance of selling someone a policy in that room. That's true. 100% of everybody in that room is going to die someday. So that's true too. And we can insure 95% of anybody in that room. So if you take that pot of 50 that don't have anything, you can boil it back down to about 40, 47 or 48 that we can insure and that don't have enough or don't have any. So I want you to think about that. I want you to keep that in your mindset when you go out in the public and you go out in wherever you're at, is that every other person you talk to is an opportunity to write business. You just got to get through the nose and get to the second person. So if you talk to, and I say this, and you will hear me say it, I'm going to really, keep saying this year, and I'm really adamant about it. I'm going to look at you when you say this, you take the number 5. Okay. So I'm real big on the number 5 this year. What does that mean, Keelan? That means that every day you go out or wherever you're at, see 5 people, talk to 5 people. 5 different people every day, and document this. Who did I talk to? Who did I visit with? Did I ask them, are you protected? Did I wear my SNL shirt? Do I have a lanyard? And if you want a lanyard, I could probably get you one. Okay. It'll be 45 policies. No, I'm just kidding. But am I blue? Am I branded? Did I talk to people? And I challenge you to talk to 5 people a day and document it, what they say. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'm in the final expense business and we protect families. Are y'all protected? Oh yeah, well, yeah, I think we got something. Okay, well, that's okay. I'd love to look at it and help you and visit with you about it. When's a good time we can sit down and look and see what you got? I'd love to see if y'all got it. Well, not right now. Maybe later. Okay, perfect. How about I call you back or check back with you in 2 or 3 months? Would that be a good time? Yeah, do that. Most agents are disciplined enough to. Good morning, Kristen. Most agents aren't disciplined enough to write that down 3 months from now, 4 months from now, 5 months from now. But if you will be disciplined enough to take what they say and document it and put it into what we call a pipeline, which means you put the date in there that, hey, I'm going to contact them back in August, July, June. Before you know it, August, June, and July is going to roll around, and you're going to have that screen pop up or that chart pop up or that piece of paper pop up. They go, oh, yeah, I need to call Luisa, I need to call that person back. They told me no. But now I can call them back and go, man, remember me? You told me that to call you back, and I am calling you back. So try to talk to 5 people a day. And I'll promise you, if you do this for a month, you talk to 5 a day, that's 5 days in a week or work week, or maybe 7, whatever you work. That's 25 people a week. That's 100 people a month that don't look for the yeses. They'll come. But look for and ask the question to them, when can we talk? When can I show you what I've got? When can we visit? When can you test drive this car? When can I come over and holler at you? When can I call you back? When can I text you? When can I email you? Because you're going to need me one day. You're going to need me one day. And I don't want to be on the back pew walking out that funeral home. I want to be on the front pew hugging your neck and telling your family that I protected you and I had you protected. And making sure you protect, and that's your job. Your job is to protect families and make sure there aren't any, benefit dinners or GoFundMe's or chicken plate dinners. That's your job. And that's our job. We got to serve our people. And serving means sometimes you just got to be bold about going, hey, when can we do business? Just tell me no. But you document it, write it down, what they say, 5 a day, what they say, and how am I going to help them? Because Final expense is all about timing. It's all about timing. It's like, when are they ready? When are we ready to do business? So timing is big in this business because sometimes they don't have the money now. Sometimes they've got to, they're busy. Sometimes they don't know if they have it. They got to check with their wife, check with their husband, so forth and so on. And they don't know. So, but we've got to be there and we've got to be in charge of the conversation to go, all right, I'm going to call you back in 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, 2 days, whatever it may be. Okay. So document, and make sure you build your pipeline. If you need some help in doing that, let me know. I can help you out. Okay. So also down here, download your state apps. You can go get your state applications and link over here to this. This is Texas right here. And you've got your loyalty app, the new loyalty app. You need to grab some of those. So you can grab the loyalty app either from there, or you can grab it over here when you go to order supplies. Okay. And when you order your supplies over here, you're going to find it. Yours will look a little different, but you need to go in here, this SNL loyalty plan in English and Spanish, and go order you 10 or 15 of them. Go order you some of these, okay? And get them coming to your house. You're going to need them. Or over here in the marketing general items, in the general items section. So write this down, general items section. Go over here to the starter kit. This is pretty cool, okay? When you order this starter kit, you get 3 applications, 3 presentations, 3 funeral plan sheets, and 3 referral forms. Okay, and you can order one here. You can order it 2 times. So you can order one, add to the cart, and then there's your cart, check out, whatever you want to do, and then order you another one. But this has all the things you need to be successful. It has, again, the loyalty plan application. It has your presentation piece. It has your funeral planning fact sheet, and it has the referral form. Okay, so it's called the starter kit. So go grab you some of those and make sure you're ready to write the policies when you have the chance. You got and do the presentation. Okay, so you got to have the materials. So go get your materials. That's your homework assignment. Okay, that's your homework assignment. So I hope hope everybody can hear me. Say yes if you can still hear me, and if you can still see me, or are we still going? I want to make sure we're still going on here and everybody can see and hear me. All right, good. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go in here. I'm going to jump in here today, and what I want to talk about today is how do we go in and before we do that, also be aware that in our agent portal right here, you have a lead store. You have a lead store right here. You can go in the lead store, and we are working on building this store kind of like a inventory, stocking the shelves, building leads in here. You can purchase leads right here. Go in here and click on state. So if I go in here and click on Texas right here, okay, and in Texas, we've got instant mailers. I've got 5 of them available here, Round Rock, and four down in Pharr, Texas. That's down in the valley. So you could pick up some there. Right here, we've got 253 internet leads that are only $11 a piece in some of these areas, Dallas and Fort Worth, San Antonio, in Central Texas here, some maybe in Houston. Okay, so you can go in there and sort down. If you don't find leads in the inventory already there, you can go to your lead store and go start a campaign. You can go in here and get some Facebook leads. You can go in here and get some of these leads here. Okay, so at that point in time, you'll be able to, at this point in time, you can go in here and order leads. I can go in here and get Google leads in my territory, and they're only $8 a piece right here. Okay, so that's pretty good. And if you actually go in there and you have lead credit, that will reduce the cost of those to $4 a piece. Okay, so that's $4 a piece for leads. Because remember, when you build up lead credit, we're giving you everything you write. You get 10% lead credit, and you can use that in the store here to cut your cost in half and order leads and get leads into your bucket, get leads into your lead store. That way, when you go into right here and you go into my leads, you'll see, hey, my gosh, look at all the new leads I've got here. I've got an internet lead here. This is what it looks like. This is Robert Stoner from Georgetown, Texas. Here's his phone number here. And I need to call this guy because he had expressed interest online about funeral plans and about final expense. So I need to call him. So know that every time you're working with us and you're selling a policy with us, we're trying to help you gain momentum, gain traction so that you can order leads. So when you, hopefully you can see now, maybe you can see me now. I don't know where I clicked off, but again, over here in the agent portal, you've got your lead hub, and you can go into your lead store and you can get instant leads right here, or you can go back and you can start a campaign and get new leads there, okay, within the lead store. So play around in your lead store, play around there if you need help, you know, if you need help trying to navigate that. Remember, we pay for half the cost of the leads. Once you write policies and you get lead credit, we'll help you out. That's tax-free money for you to build your business. That's tax-free money for you to build a business, okay? So it's very important as you move on so that you can build your business and you can have leads and a constant flow of people to see, on top of referrals. I can't say it enough. Ask for referrals on every sale. People will give it to you, okay? People will give it to you. So don't be afraid to ask for referrals. So here we go. We're going to go in here and go into our agent portal. Hopefully everybody can see this. If you cannot see this, then let me know. But we're going to go into the agent portal here, and I want to walk through a web app. A web app, there's two different ways to write business with us. Remember, you can go here and you can write it in person, in paper, just your old school paper. And when you write your paper application, then you're going to be able to go over here and upload it into the portal. So you take a scanner, whatever you have at home, and you upload it into your computer and you pull it back out, and there you are. Or the second way you can do that is if you have the agent portal, okay, right here, hopefully you can see me. If you have the agent portal right here, and I open up the agent portal on my phone, and this is what it looks like on my phone. Hopefully y'all can see this and it can pull up. Come on. It's trying. So once it pulls up, actually this is not on the internet right now. There it is. So you'll see right here, it pulls up, then you can clearly go in and you can hit that upload button right there and take a picture of your application. Take a picture of your application with your phone and send it straight to the company. So make sure you have the agent portal bookmarked or earmarked on your phone, where you can check your commissions, you can check your policy progress, you can submit policies, you can run quotes because you've got the rater right here. You can run quotes, okay? So that's very important. But if you don't have the agent portal on your phone, you can't do that, okay? So we're going to go in right in here to web app. So this web app is virtual, and it's going to be changing pretty soon for the better. We're really all about trying to make things easy for you, for the user experience. So we want to make it easy and clean for you. So let's say you're in front of someone and you like your computer and you want to use your computer. You're welcome to do that on your computer. Or if you're over the phone and somebody's 100 miles away, you can do it. Okay, just make sure they're in the state where you're licensed, and then you can clearly write the policy. So I'm going to go in here and open my web app, and we're going to run through one of these. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm just going to kind of show you how it works and the buttons that go in there. One thing about this is, and hopefully y'all can see that, type yes if you can see my web app, telephone app agreement, type yes someone, or say yes. Great. I want to see if I can get somebody to say we got the web app here. All right, perfect. So one thing about the web app is this is a secure environment to help the client and make sure that everything is secure for them. So what you're going to find, though, is if you're doing an application and you have to go run to the store for a second in the middle of the application, it could time out and you lose all your information. So what I suggest doing is anytime that you do a web app, if you're going to do a web app over the phone, what I strongly suggest doing is to have a paper app also by your side and just write down the pertinent information while you're typing it in. Such things as date of birth, social things, account numbers, things that you might type in wrong that at least you can go back and look at your piece of paper. So ask them this information right on the paper, then put it in the system. Once you do that, then if you mess up, you can go back and look at it, okay? And you can go back and look at it again. So a question here, a good one. So if someone from California is visiting Texas, we can write them. Yes, as long as when you write them, they're on the soil of where you're licensed. You can do that. So if you've got somebody that comes into town, you know, and you want to write them, and you know, you can do that just as long as where they're at, the time they're signing up work is where you're licensed at. Okay, so it's very important. Maybe that, hopefully that answers that question from that standpoint. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to go in here and I'm going to do an application kind of on myself. Okay, so we've got Keelan, you know, and Johnson. Okay, and you got a date of birth. Okay, so you can type in your date of birth, the state where you're signing the policy, the state where the client is at, your zip code. Okay, social security number. There it is. Gender. Man, and this is where it's important to know the height and weight, because if you're over the height and weight limits, then it's not going to let you move forward. Okay, so 6'5", okay, 225, and desired coverage. We can now, y'all, on anybody under 75, we can go up to $50,000 if we want to. Okay, we can go up to $50,000. Make sure on the loyalty plan here, you can only do people ages 40 and above. Okay, 40 and above. So I'm going to do 15,000 here. And I'm going to go ahead and continue and hit submit. Here we go. All right, cool. Here's the loyalty plan. Here we go. All right, so we're going to jump into this next screen, but it will be effective when they get back to California. There are no loopholes. So it will be effective whenever they want it to be effective, immediately or on a future date. So that doesn't matter, as long as they just sign the application when they're in the state. Okay, so the web app. Okay, so 123 Main Street, okay, in Georgetown, Texas, whatever it may be. Okay, so I'll put the address in there. Now, here's what's cool. You've got an email address. You don't have to put an email address in there. You can put none@none.com, and that's okay. So the email address is not required. Okay. Now, most of the time, the insured is going to be the owner of their own policy. Okay. So the insured will be the owner. What's cool about this process here is that when you look at it, you can basically slide this button over and it will pre-fill that information in there. So if the owner is the insured, just slide the button over, it will copy all the information down and you don't have to retype it. A lot of times the owner and the insured are the payer also. They don't have to be, somebody else can be the payer. You know, with our policies, you have, if you look over to the right, you see these 4 boxes. These can be 4 different people. You have an insured, you have an owner, you have a payer, and you have a beneficiary. Those can be 4 different people. It doesn't matter. Okay, whoever wants to pay for it. And here's the thing that we have to be aware of lots of times is that when we're talking to somebody, you know, just an older person, whatever, and you get this objection. Well, I'm not going to buy one of these policies. I've been taking care of my kids for 300 years, and they're supposed to take care of me now, and why would I want to give them money? You know, any of that stuff. You know what you say? You say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if you did have a policy, who would your beneficiary be? Oh, well, that'd probably be my son. So what you're saying is your son, you know, would be the beneficiary to get the money and to take care of this. Yeah, he's the one. He's the most responsible one. I tell you what, can I talk to your son? Because here's the deal. Someday, your son is either going to receive money to take care of this or he's going to have to pay money to take care of this. It's going to be on him. You'll be dead and gone. He's the one that has to bring out the checkbook. So would it be okay to talk to him to write a policy? That way he protects his interest. He protects his money. That way when you pass away, there's money, he can take care of it because he's got to be the one cutting the check. Okay. So think about, again, even though somebody might not be willing to write a policy because they're being stubborn, well, we could still need to talk to the son or the daughter, and they may want to write a policy. They might want to be the owner and the payer and the beneficiary to make sure that when Pawpaw passes away, they can get that pine box to put him in, you know, or whatever. So payer can be different. If it's not, simply just slide it over and you've already got most of the information already put in here and you're in good shape. Beneficiaries, You can have as many beneficiaries as you want. You know, you just put their names in here and put their address in here and put their phone numbers in here, you know, and go forward and put an email in there, you know. So put their information in there and you're off to the races. Select the beneficiary type here. What are they? Are they a spouse, children, others, domestic partner, niece, grandparent? Okay. So put that in there, and then they're the primary or contingent. Remember, you can have as many primaries as you want. If you have 4 primaries, when the person passes away, the benefit will be split up into 4 different people, 25, 25, 25, 25. Okay. So be sure you're able to determine that. If you've got contingents, that means that the primary is in, say the primary is in a crash with the owner or the insured, then it would go to the contingent, the next one down the line. So you've got to save that in there. You have to put a beneficiary in there. It will make you put a beneficiary in there. Okay. So now we get down to the questions, and the questions are really the same. Hopefully you can still see me, and we've got my share button still going on. The questions are the same as they are on the paper app. And if you haven't seen the training, sorry, lost train of thought. If you haven't seen my training, basically on, you know, in the YouTube channel, go in here, and if you haven't seen the new loyalty product webinar, go watch this. This is a new product. You need to know what you're writing here, which is good. There's some great things that we have now on the loyalty product that we didn't have before, and you'll kind of see them. I'll kind of point them out in here. So I just say this, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and I'm going to summarize some of these questions. You can read them out loud. You can go through. Here's one homework assignment, what I want you to do. I want you to go in here and go through the process like I'm doing it. Practice. It won't hurt anything. You can't break anything. Here's the other thing too, is if you're brand new to us, go write yourself a policy. You know, it's going to pay for itself first year because you get commissions on your own policy. So you're getting a free policy first year, and heaven forbid something happen, your family's got the money. Plus it gives you the clout to go out and say, I'm not only an agent, I am a insured. And how do you have to do this, because how do you go out and promote a company and a policy to someone that you don't even have on yourself or your family or your people? It's pretty hard to do, because like if they ask you that question, do you have one of these? No, I got Lincoln Heritage though. No, I don't have one of these. Well, aren't you working for this company? And yeah. Well, I don't know. I just haven't written one yet. So I mean, how does that sound to the client? Not very good. It sounds, you know, it's worth more if you say, oh yeah, I've got one too. Hey, look at my illustration. You know, pull up your illustration, carry a copy of your illustration right here, and laminate it or whatever you do. Carry this with you and show them what your policy does. Show them what how good yours is. This will come in your policy jacket, and you can take it and make copies of it and highlight it, whatever you want to, but show them how good of a policy this is, and that you're not only an agent, you are an insured also. Okay. So here's the questions. These are tobacco questions, pretty simple. Y'all done insurance before, but these are knockout questions. Section 1 means that if they answer yes in any one of these areas, they will be kicked out of this policy and have to go over to our other MIB plan. But let me just kind of summarize this, what it looks like. Number 1, have you been in the hospital in the last 30 days? Stayed overnight? No, Keelan, I haven't. Okay. Have you been diagnosed as being terminally ill? No, I haven't. Okay. Have you had a seizure in the last 30 days? No, I haven't. Do you need assistance, daily activities of life? This isn't like, do you need help? Does people come over and give you food every once in a while, or does somebody take you shopping? No, this is, do you have to have help with dressing yourself or eating or bathing? Okay. No, I'm good. In the last 90 days, have you been diagnosed with cancer? Okay. In the last 90 days, have you been diagnosed with cancer? Okay. That's internal cancer. Do you have cancer, or have you been diagnosed with it? Remember, on cancer, if you've been cancer free for 90 days, more than 90 days, we can write you a modified. And if you've been cancer free for 2 years, we can write you a preferred. So if that's a cancer question, not skin cancer, not, you know, melanomas, but this is internal, yes or no. Okay. This is a one that we've been working with, and we just changed it. So we'll read it kind of slowly because it's kind of prevalent these days. But within the past 6 months, have you been diagnosed or treated by a licensed member of the medical profession for hepatitis C. So within the last 6 months, have you been diagnosed with hepatitis C, okay, or treated for hepatitis C, okay? Or it says, or has it been less than 90 days since completing the treatment for hepatitis C by a licensed member? So you know there are treatments now for hepatitis C. And once you get your treatment done, here's the cool part about it is that once you get your treatment done, right here, you can go down and right here get a modified plan. Okay, once your treatment is done, you're good to go here. Complete hepatitis C treatment. So we can write hepatitis C people now. That's good. We just got to, they have to have gone through the process of the treatment, and it has to be 90 days. It has to have been 90 days for that. Okay, so 90 days. So that's hepatitis C. Alzheimer's and dementia or organ transplants or knockouts. Dialysis is a knockout, and then your HIV. Other than that, we're good to go. We're ready to go to the next section. So as long as there's all no's there, we're good to go to the next section. And again, come in here and practice around, play around, read your questions slowly. You can't hurt it. You can even go to the next screen. You're not going to submit anything. I'll show you why in a minute. Section 2 is our standard plan. Okay, section 2 is our standard plan. When you go to our rate guide here, and if you haven't been in there, go in there and play around. But you'll see in our loyalty plan, we have a preferred, we have a standard, and we have a modified. Okay, preferred, standard, and modified. So this is a day one coverages here, preferred and standard, and then modified is a 2-year return of premium plus 10%. Okay, so 2-year return of premium plus 10%. So if they were to pass away of a natural cause within the first 2 years, the beneficiary would get all the money back plus 10% additional. Now, if they pass away in an accident, then the family gets the full face amount. And the family gets the full face amount. Okay. Also, look right here. We have increased that age to 50,000 on ages 75. We can also go up to age 90. But they need to be a preferred or standard. Okay, they need to be preferred or standard. So watch those and take a look at those and be, be aware of those. Okay. Also on the accidental death benefit rider. Okay. Then you can also ADB, accidental death benefit rider. You can double indemnify the policy. Okay. So you've got a policy for $30,000. You can put another 30,000 worth of accidental death on there, and you can have a policy worth 60,000. So if they were to pass away in an accident, you could go up to 60,000, and the family would get $60,000. Okay, so that's what's important about that, about an accidental death benefit rider. So make sure you take a look at this rate book and rate guide, print you one off, get you one, okay, and take a look at it. All right, so here's section 2. We have increased the opportunity for you to write people in section 2 to 121 units of insulin per day. So again, if they are on just pills for diabetes, you can go preferred. Once they start taking insulin, we're looking at the standard. Okay, but we are going to allow up to 121 units of insulin. Okay, so right here, no, I'm not taking insulin, I'm good. Okay, this is also a big deal. If you have not had a seizure in the last 2 years, okay, and have had, okay, let me read this, epilepsies or seizures, and have not had a seizure in the last 2 years, you could click yes right here, okay, and you would get a standard plan. So if you're not on seizures, you don't have seizures, you can put no here. If someone has had a seizure within, not the last 30 days, but the last 2 years, then you're going to go back down here and check the button right here on the modified plan. So let's talk about seizures again. Can't have had one in the last 30 days. And if your last one was over 2 years ago, you can get a day one coverage standard. That's new for us, and that's a big deal. Diabetic neuropathy. This is a drug called gabapentin, you'll find. This was down in our modified. Now we've moved it up to standard, and you can get day one coverage with gabapentin. Diabetic neuropathy. That's huge in the marketplace. This is a big deal, y'all. And then also COPD. We've moved this up to day one coverage in our standard plan. But it just says right here, COPD, but not on oxygen and not inhaled tobacco within the last 12 months. Okay. So if any of these are yeses, you can get a standard plan. We're going to go no and try to get a preferred plan. We're going to go to section 3. So section 3 is probably probably our most important section here, because this is where it says if all these are no's, then we can get a preferred plan. But I can have up to 3 yeses in here. For example, I could have had a heart valve surgery, I could have had cancer, and also a stroke, and still get a modified plan. Once I have 4 yeses, though, I'm kicked out. So let's look at this. And the questions read this way: within the past 2 years, have you been treated for? But they also say in the past 2 years, have you been prescribed medicine for? So think about it this way. If I've had a bypass surgery, but I'm still on blood thinners, okay, if I had bypass, but I'm still on blood thinners, look up the blood thinners, because more than likely I'm still on those, because you can't get off those. And once you're still on those, then you're in this category. So it's a yes, and I get a modified plan. Okay, so think about a person, think about a stick person, you see their heart, you see their head, you see their lungs, your brain. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, anything wrong with your heart? Have you had any problems there? Have you had any valves, surgery, stents, whatever it may be? No, I'm good. I have not. Okay, great. So that's a no. Any tumors or cancers, that you've had? And when, if you have had it, how long ago has it been? Because it's over 2 years ago. Remember, cancer, if you've had cancer within 90 days, that's a decline. Okay, right up here in the top, cancer 90 days, right here. If you've been cancer-free for 90 days to 2 years, look here, you can put yes, but I'm cancer-free for 1.5 years and get a modified. If you've been cancer-free for 2 years, you can put a no there and move on down to preferred. Okay, this is all about your brain, the third one here, brain disorders. Okay, the next one's all about your heart again, congestive heart failure, heart murmurs, heart attacks. The next one is all about your lungs. Remember COPD right here. This is where your COPD is. And if you used oxygen on COPD, this is going to be a yes. Remember, if there's no oxygen and no nicotine, we can put them up in the standard. So ask them that question. Kidney disease. We'll write people with kidney disease. You just can't be on a transplant list, and you can't be on dialysis. But if you've got kidney disease and you're taking medicine, we can put you here. Liver disease, hepatitis C. Okay. If you've completed the hepatitis C treatment, you can go in here and get a modified plan. Okay. Before it was a knockout. Okay. Diabetes. Okay. This is where the people that are taking more than 121 units of insulin would go. Or if you were an insulin diabetic before age of 40. So read that one closely. When you ask the people about insulin, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, how many units are you taking a day? And have you been taking, if they're 45 or 50, you have to ask the question, have you been taking insulin prior to the age of 40? And this is a yes or no. Okay. Yes or no question. Parkinson's disease, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy. This is your seizures right here. Yes or no. Okay. Paranoia, schizophrenia, hospitalization. Remember, we'll write mild depression, ADHD, ADD. We'll write that into our preferred policy. When it gets to be major depression, that's when it goes into the next classification. Okay. So that's when it goes there. Have you been advised to have a surgery, test, or treatment? Okay. And as far as if you've been advised to have a surgery that you haven't had yet, yeah, Keelan, you need to go in and have your gallbladder taken out, those kind of things. Have you been in a rehab for drugs or alcohol? And this one right here is tricky, so let's read it closely. Are you dependent upon the medical appliance? So if you've got someone that just uses a cane every once in a while because they feel more comfortable, or uses a walker when they go outside, every once in a while for safety, that's not a problem. But are you dependent on it? Okay. And the next one is do you have an amputation due to an illness or disease? Some people lose their arms or legs or something in a traffic accident, but that's no problem. We'll cover those. But is your amputation due to diabetes, okay, or disease? So if they've lost a limb, they can go preferred. But if it's because of an illness or disease, that's when it's a yes or no. Medications. That's the most important part here. You've got your prescription guide here. Make sure you get all their medications. This is going to make the underwriting. This is what you get paid for. This is why you get paid commissions, the good commissions like you do. We need you to be the eyes and the ears of our underwriters. We're counting on you to get these things. Now, we will run a background and pull these things, but we need you to visit with the client, to form a relationship and go, what are you on? Show me your medicines, pull out your big Ziploc bag and let's get these written down. The cool part about it is in the future, coming up, in the not so distant future, when you go in here and add your medications, you're going to have a drop down box to be able to pick from these medications, which will keep you from having to type it in, which is great. But do your best on typing it in. Amlodipine, okay? How many years have you been taking it? 5 years, or reason, high blood pressure, dosage, 10 milligrams, how many times daily, once, and or as needed. Hit your save button. This is going to make your life a lot easier when you complete this medications, okay, in here. And hopefully you can still see me, you're still there. You're going to make it a lot easier to fill that out. Again, go in here and practice on your own and play around. It's not going to hurt anything. You don't have to have a physician's name in here. So if you don't have one, if they don't have one, that's okay. Payment information is very important. We can use credit cards or we can use a bank draft. Try to get their banking information. Try to get their routing number and account information. Okay, it's very important there. You get paid higher commissions. You get advanced more, and the policy, they pay lower premium. The premium is lower for them by like $4, and it stays on the books a lot longer because you're drafting out of an account that has money in there, not just a credit card that goes, the numbers go bad. If you have a debit card, even though if they lose that debit card, they've got to reissue another debit card, and it has different numbers on it. So that month, we're going to try to draft out of that debit card. There's not going to be any money there. It won't work, and the policy is going to cancel. So try your hardest. You can go online and get routing numbers for any bank. You can get your routing number if they have the bank. Well, I'll bank at First Guarantee Bank in Kalamazoo. Well, you can find that routing number. That's public information through Google. Just type it into your computer. It'll come up. All you got to do is get their account number. Okay, so get the Texel Federal Credit Union, 123 Main, account type checking, account number 1111111. And when you get to this point, you've got to put in a routing number. So you can use a true routing number. That won't hurt. Or you can look one up as you're playing. Look one up online for some bank. And enter that in there. Do you have an accidental death benefit rider? No. Do you have child rider? Again, you can add $10,000 worth of children rider on here, up to $10,000 on the children if you want to. Billing option. This is very important and very crucial here, so pay attention for a second. Does the client receive Social Security disability, SSI, VA, or VA? If there's a yes here, then what it's going to do is ask you, because most of these people get paid on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month. We want to make sure that we're drafting when the money is there, okay? When the money is in their account. So be sure you ask that. If they just want it on a certain day of the week, then you put no here, and then you put your billing date. Well, I want it drafted on the 16th of the month, okay? The second question is, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, is there money in the account now? Do you want this to go active as soon as it's approved? Do you want this immediately active if not? Because in this case in point, it's not going to be active until the 16th of March because that's when the first payment is. But if I put yes right here, perfect. It's going to go active whenever I turn this in today, and then they're not going to draft again till the 16th of next month. So they'll start drafting on the 16th of the month. So be sure you ask the client, do you want it drafted now? Do you want it, what do you want your future dates to be? Replacement. This is a kind of a tricky one. Do you have existing policy or contract with and basically what they're asking here is that, are you replacing anything? So I usually never replace anything just because I don't want the client to be without coverage. So what I do is just write the policy, and then when it comes in, we go in and cancel the other one. But if they do, and you're absolutely going to replace one, you have to do this, and you have to fill out this replacement questions here and add the company of who you're replacing. And it kind of gets cumbersome there. So I usually just do no. Make sure you do the agent statement here. You can write your family, like your spouse or your kids or anybody, a policy. You will get paid full commissions on it. You'll just get paid as earned. So you'll get paid monthly commissions instead of a big advance. Okay, so that's where no, this is not a family member here. And then this is my signatures, my verbal signatures, and type my name in there as the agent. You can split commissions with another agent if you want to right here. And then you just go, what city was it signed in? It's in Georgetown, you know, and phone verified, and you hit submit. When you hit submit, it's going to check over your application to see if you made any mistakes. So it's going to verify and come back and see a red button up top. Oh, good. I didn't make any mistakes. I get down to the last page. So basically, based on the questions that I answered, I get a preferred plan. Now, once this goes to the company, if they pull up the medications list and there's something on there that I wasn't honest about, it could switch it and it could send it over to a modified. So be very careful there. This page gives you a second chance to double check all your banking information. And down here's your face amount. Here's your face amount and additional details. So if I get to this point and I go, hey, Mr. Jones, it's 5151 for $15,000 worth of coverage. Oh gosh, I didn't know it was going to be that much. You know, what is your budget? Well, that's about $40. You can go in here and play around with this. You can go into 12,000 here, calculate the premium, okay, on that one, and go forward. Oh, boss lady had a question. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Tracy, did you have a question? Tracy, did you have a question? Oh, I don't know if she has a question or not. Hopefully.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, so Keelan, I'm not sure if you may have already said this, but I had to step away. I have a couple of clients that have our policies. One of them was rated, his premium is extremely high for a small amount of coverage. And I've listened to the criteria of this new loyalty plan. So you're probably wondering where I'm going with this. You probably already know where I'm going. Yeah. Is there any way that I could maybe resubmit him for a better rate, more coverage? Because he has $15,000 and it is $93 a month. I'm really outraged. And I really believe that he would be a great candidate for the loyalty plan.
Okay. Yeah, send me on a one-off when we get done here. Send me his name and everything. We'll look at the application and see if we can help him out. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I have two of those. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, send it over to me. We'll take a look at it. If we can better him out into another plan or another opportunity, we will for sure. So send that over to me and I'll take a look at it, Tracy.
Okay, that'll be great. Thank you so much.
You bet. Anytime. So we can adjust his face amount, you know, to match his premium, what he wants. And you can go in here and do anything you want to, you know, and it will readjust it before you submit it. Okay. If once you submit this, you're going to be talking to a person at home office to do a third-party verification with them. If you need Spanish, just put Spanish verification, you know, and do that. So any notes you want to put in there to the underwriter, just put that and then hit accept. I'm not going to hit accept right now because I'm not going to accept it. So you get to the end here. I'm just going to withdraw this, but as you can see, you can play around here and get through this thing pretty easily. Once you have the client's information, you can rock and roll. So I challenge you to go through this, get to this screen, play around, cancel it out, or go ahead and write your own policy. I strongly advise that more. So you can be not only an agent, but a policy holder too. Okay, so the web app, I'm going to withdraw that, and that is the web app there for us. So very easy to get to. Again, you're on your agent portal. You're going to web app, play around with there, ask the questions, and that way you know and you feel comfortable. Again, you can do the web app while you're in someone's home if you want to. What happens right after that is that you're going to go in here and also then at that point in time, call the company, use option 1. You're going to go do a phone authorization with an A, authorization with the company. They're going to ask a few questions about your client. They're going to ask a few questions for your client. It's a 3-way call, and then you're good to go and you're off the deal. A little hindrance right now because we have to call the company during hours of operation from 9 a.m. to 5:45 Central Time. So that's a little hindrance. The good news is with a big clap coming up in about a week or two, the test model is out. we will be able to call into the company 24/7 and just on a voice recorded line. So you won't have to talk to a live person, and that will be a lot easier. It's gonna really be a game changer for us. So we're excited for that. So look for that coming down the pipeline. Okay, look for that coming down the pipeline as we move forward. So we've got paper app again, we've got web app, and it's super simple. So don't be afraid to get in here and play around. Don't be afraid that when you're calling people and talking to people, say, yeah, I can do this. I can write your policy over the line today. We can write it right now. Jump into that web app, practice on it, get good with it. That way you're using you're using your paper application and you're using your web app to go in there and be efficient with the client and get it done quickly and give the home office a phone call and make it done. Again, remember, if you're doing a paper application and you're selling it in person, you don't have to call the company. You just send it right to the company and you're good to go if you're doing a paper application. If you're doing an online application, you have to call the company right now and get that third-party verification. But here's the deal. Just consider another set of eyeballs on your application. Just consider it selling the deal and sealing the deal, because you're going to want that anyway. So they actually will help you if you made any mistakes, and they will get it fixed. That way the policy is correct. Okay. So in person, over the phone, there we go. Okay. Order your supplies, loyalty app, go get your starter kits. Now you have opportunity to sell over the phone, in person, however you want to. Okay. New loyalty app is opening some doors on some things that we didn't have before. Okay. So we're super excited about that. Super excited for you. Remember, we serve people and we want to serve them 5 a day. Document who you talk to, ask them, hey, when can I protect you? When can we talk? When can we visit? When is a good time for you? Because I want to make sure I have my blue on, I have my business cards, and I'm protecting you. And that's what I do, because I protect people, I serve people. Okay. I got right at an hour here. I did good here. So this will be recorded. It will show up on my YouTube this afternoon. If you have a chance and you want somebody else to watch, or you want to watch it again, go in there and take a look at it. Remember, five a day. We're shooting for 2+ policies in March. We've got a fresh start right now. Try to write you 2 or more policies in March that gets the blood flowing, gets some money in your pocket. You protect people. 2 a month is 24 a year, and you're going to be a good protector. Okay. You write more than that, that's wonderful. Just go keep protecting. Okay. Get with me if you're wondering how you've got some lead credit and you want to use it, or you want to buy some leads or get started on some leads. Remember, we got to hit the leads from every different direction. You got to call them, you got to text them, you got to email them, you got to go see them. Everything you can do to get in these people's house or mind or soul or whatever. So anyways, I've gone long enough. I'm gonna go eat some lunch. So hey, thank you for coming on and watching the web app today. Be good at it, be clean at it, be fast with it. We're trying to help you. Good things to come in 2023 for SNL, the Family Protectors. So thank you for jumping on here. We protect lives. And as I say in Texas, adios.